Wow. Are you going to work with me or what? Come on. And she's like, she just wants to sleep standing up. All right, let's get some work done. We got to talk about SEDNA. You ready to do SEDNA? This is going to be a short little video because this monster wants to be fed. It's before dinner. It's before dinner, but she's ready. She said, it's 20 minutes, but I'm ready now, damn it. All right, so let's talk about SEDNA real quick. I'm going to show you her on the chart. She's leaving Gemini energy. She's been sitting at Gemini like at 0 degrees for all of shit. She's been at 0 for a while, October, November. So it intensifies things when you're at 0 degrees. And so November, 0 degrees and 0 minutes, those last few weeks in October. And even the beginning of November, Mercury is just slamming me with all the details from left and right in Saggy. It's driving me nuts. So SEDNA, kind of like the feminine version of Pluto. Some say even stronger than Pluto. So the divine feminine, but like the big boss. Because SEDNA is way out there, further away than Pluto. The Inuit Goddess. When you think of the indigenous peoples, right? It's like, oh, that's how old that shit is. Yeah. Can we get the butt down? Huh? Jeez. All right, hold on. We're gonna get a little cat. Come on. I don't have a candle lit, so I guess it doesn't matter. Except I got tail in my face, and I'm not caring for all that. You got the wrong person. I don't care for your tail. I got your little towel set up. So anyway, we think of change and transformation. We think of taking something that's been causing us. We experience a major tragedy, but not just one or two, but lots of tragic energy. Okay, there's a SEDNA video up on the channel. I'll link it below, so because that gives you the deep dive in the SEDNA's energy. But the point is to take those old deep wounds, those vulnerabilities, and to do something with them. To change them in some way, to process them, to recognize them, to acknowledge them, to get the energy moving, and to maybe create with it even, or to do something that helps you, but then could even possibly help somebody else, right? So it's basically kind of sort of rehashing old wounds, right? Earth. It's SEDNA going into Earth. We had SEDNA and Gemini. So it was like the way we're talking and thinking and communicating and the news and hearing about tragic news, right? So wherever SEDNA goes, she's changing and transforming. But this time, it's a little bit different because this SEDNA, there we go. I got it. Woo, that happened fast. I like when it happens like that. God, when technology works, man, it is like, damn. This is the shit. All right. So this event is happening quickly because I've been talking about it, but I didn't create the video. And today I'm like, I have to get this video done. November 22nd, Wednesday. I know, not far away. By the time you see this video, I hope it's not the day of, but it's a little bit more in depth. This is a long cycle. This isn't like a one-day thing. You follow? So you can absolutely come upon this video and see it later on, and it'll be meaningful because SEDNA is going to come back to this point. Let me show it to you. There she is. There's SEDNA. Water. Inuit Goddess. Icy waters. So this looks like a water, like a faucet, or like it's supposed to be a faucet. And then instead of showing waves, they just did like a faucet, I guess. I'm not sure, right? But the tragic history that's involved, and it's in Earth now. So it's the tragic history and the wounds and just like the vulnerabilities, the betrayal by somebody that's very close to you even. And I mean like just betrayal. It's in Earth energy. It's in Taurus. So we think of all the earthly things. So we think of our values. We think of the earth. Do we value the earth? We think of the natural resources, what we consider mine. I said what we consider mine because I was going to say ours, but ours is Scorpio. Taurus is this is mine, all mine. This is in my bank account. Your name's not on it. This belongs to me. That's Taurus energy. So banking, for sure, banking. So we think of banking and we think of, yeah, we got Uranus there still retrograding, and its job is to disrupt things. Its job is to force us to understand there's a new way, a new value, doing and thinking of something, holding of something of value that is unconventional, something that hasn't been done before. Okay. And Taurus is like creature comfort. So we always, we think of food and smells and tastes and touch. We think of clothing and beauty. We think of desire and sensuality. Yeah, that's part of Taurus energy too. Think of Venus in the garden. She's got the grapes, she's got the wine, she's got rich foods. Think of sweets, think of butter, think of like all the really really just wonderfully tasting things. When you see people who can really cook, 9 times out of 10, they got some really strong Taurus energy in their chart. 9 times out of 10, because they have all their sensory factors hanging in there, right? They have a very, their palate is highly sensitized. They can taste something and they're like, okay, they can pinpoint the different flavors and the different seasoning, the different spices, and they know how to marry them together. Like what pairs up really well, what food, what wine pairs up with what food. Like there's some people who they just have it. And so that's Taurus energy. But yeah, money and our values. And so Sedna could possibly be letting us know about some of the wounds, some of the pain, some of the suffering, but also the planet herself, the earth herself, and her natural resources. Think of all the beautiful natural resources. Like the list can go on forever when we think of that. And not to mention how we, gold, literally gold and silver, and like all these things that we drill and dig for and mine for, like all these precious pieces of the planet, right? Precious pieces of the planet. Not to mention the animals and the food and the abuse, Sedna, the abuse. Not good. Not good at all. And so the promise of Sedna is I'm here to start some shit because there has been wrongdoings that have happened, and I am going to definitely stir up these icy ass waters. And until I'm acknowledged and recognized, until something is done, until things are made right, there's going to be a problem. And that's the way Sedna energy works. So it's about changing and transforming, and it might not be comfortable, right? Because we also have Uranus and Taurus. Now, that's not all. Sedna's retrograding. See how the colors are in red, right? So she stays retrograding until February 11th. February 11th is when Sedna gets done retrograding. Now, she's not a super quick mover, okay? So she's still going to be in Taurus. She'll go forward and she will go back into Gemini, okay? But it's the end of the retrograde that should be good, because then the intensity of that Sedna's wrath shouldn't be as strong, right? So this is November 22nd to February 11th. We're being very mindful of the planet. We're being very mindful of our value systems, of our money, of the banking, of things being challenged, right? And questioning what our values are and resetting our priorities. But let's not forget self-love here. Self-love, because Sedna, who's been through so much, when you go through some tragic stuff, especially for females, feminine energy, I should say, there's always that, what did I do wrong that happened to me? Maybe I deserved that, right? There's that whole bullshit head game that people go through because somebody else abused them, and it's like, oh no, don't do that. And then our self-worth, our self-esteem becomes less than zero. So Sedna's also that self-love and taking care of ourselves. When we love ourselves, when we take care of ourselves, we truly are helping the planet, because we become better stewards for ourselves and for the planet. What you do to yourself, you do to the earth. What you do to the earth, you do to yourself. We are one. There's no separating it, because we live on this planet and she feeds us. So there's no separation of that. And we got to make this right. And SEDNA is here to say, hey, let's do this. Now, here's the other really interesting piece. I got Pluto showed up here. Let me see, where's Pluto at? You see, Pluto is at 28, and this is in November, right? Yeah. So when December comes around, we're going to have Pluto hitting 29 degrees. Right. Now you see where I'm going with this. So once December comes, Pluto's going to go up in numbers. It's headed towards Aquarius energy. It doesn't go into Aquarius until January, which means we're going to have Sedna in December. We're going to have Sedna and Pluto angling each other in a way where they're going to be having unbelievably deep conversations. And it's going to be about the past. It's going to be about the wrongdoings. It's going to be about the abuses of power from people who have money, from people even in the government, and the problem of people who have a lot of money and businesses having powers and persuasions within the government and even over the government, right? And so we think of the earth and we think of, just a lot of things that are made legal or things that were protected. We think of endangered animals, and we think of how all we have all those like those special parameters set up to preserve and restore and to take care of things that animals or even natural, like the planet itself, the earth and the water itself, right? And so taking care of those things, but businesses and greed, right? What's happened to the planet because of business and greed? We see how there's just a lot of things that, well, they're not good. They're not good, right? And so we've expedited, you don't have to call it climate change, whatever the hell you want to call it. We have expedited certain things, certain events, and we've made it harder. We've kind of made it harder on ourselves because of the abuses and because of the constant desire, Venus and Taurus, the constant desire for more money, more, just like, when is it ever going to be enough? Is there such a thing as, who says enough is enough? Who draws the line? Who says, okay, you've had your fill and now that's enough? Who's doing that? Is there anybody to keep track? Is there anybody who draws the line? Who does that? Who's supposed to do that? If there isn't somebody doing it, then there has to be something established. There has to be some sort of a hierarchy set up where these where the earth is protected, where the beauty and the abundance and the goodness and all that the planet has to give is protected and taken care of. There needs to be an advocate for the planet, truly. So the month of December, we don't get really tight. It doesn't get super tight as far as, I got to find the chart. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. We don't get super tight because Pluto doesn't, it moves very slow. All right. It's a slow mover. So even by the end of December, at the end of December, I'm looking at a chart on the side here. We got December 25th, like Christmas Day. We got Pluto on the 25th at 29 degrees and 10 minutes. So here we see Pluto's at 28:19, right? So we see Pluto has moved a full degree. Pluto has moved to 29 degrees and 10 minutes by December 25th. So that gives us a little bit of time, and that timeline is going to look like the beginning of January. We have Pluto and Sedna in the first 10 days of January, because Sedna moves backwards, right? So Sedna's moving backwards and Pluto's moving forward. So it's really Sedna that we're kind of focused on because of the retrograde. She's more powerful. So think Earth for sure. And the date that I want to give to you for that is going to be January 4th to January 10th. I'm just going to put from the 4th to the 10th. We've got Pluto and SEDNA in a Earth trine, a very tight, a very strong Earth trine. Okay. So here's SEDNA. Don't know why that's on Uranus. It moved. There is SEDNA, 29 degrees. Okay. And then Pluto will be at 29 degrees. They're going to be like at 29 degrees. And I'm going to write it over here because some of you might have points in your chart. And if you do, you want to know, pay attention to the minutes. When you're talking about SEDNA and Pluto, you pay attention to the minutes. It's 29 degrees and 30, what did I say? 30, I didn't say it. Yeah, I'm right. 29:30. So we're going to say 29:30 to 29, because 29:34 January 7th, they're exact. January 7th, exact. 29 degrees, 34 minutes. January 6th, January 7th. Okay. So that orb I'm giving for the degrees is between 29:30, or I should say the minutes. I'm going to put a dash here. And 36. Does that make sense? So you're looking at your Capricorn energy and your Taurus energy, and you're asking, well, what do I have? Do I have something at 29 degrees and 30 minutes and 29 degrees to 36 minutes? Because you may have something at 29, 31, 32, 33, 34, right? You may have something at 29, 40, and that wouldn't count here. It's the minutes that we're paying attention to, the minutes. Obviously, you first have to absolutely have the degree, but then you also have to check the minutes. Did that make sense? You have to have the degree, the 29. Like I know somebody in the live who has a moon. She always comes by and she's got her moon at 29 degrees in Cappy. I can't remember what her minutes are, but I would say to her, since I know you got a moon in Cappy at 29, check your minutes. 30. Do you have anything between 30 to 36? What minutes is your 29 degree Capricorn moon? Is it between 30 to 36? If it is, this is a trine. Something big will occur, right? Because the trine says it makes an event or a thing easy to happen. So it can be work because it's Capricorn. It could have to do with your money because it's Taurus. You see what I'm saying? Capricorn is the boss energy. You may become a boss. You may get a raise. You may get the promotion, right? It might be the boss in your life, whoever is the boss, a father figure, an authority figure in your life. Somebody, there's some sort of an ease. There's some sort of a thing happening. Now, the past, remember, SEDNA, the past is involved in some way. So it's not like it's something brand new. It has to do likely with something you're familiar with. So maybe you were like working towards this particular goal. Capricorn energy. Remember, Capricorn, my long-term tangible financial security. Taurus, my money in the bank, but also my love. So for some folks, it might be, oh my God, this person who I've been hoping that we could like make it work. We had a relationship before, it fell apart. They've come back into my life. Capricorn would be masculine energy, somebody older, right? Because it's Capricorn, or they seem to be older, or you look up to them. And Taurus can be love, something in someone that you value, love. I desire them. So there can be an event like that because those degrees are exact. And for the exact, it's on January 7th is like the exact when the minutes match, like bam. And that's at 29 degrees and 34 minutes where they just are bam, they're together. So you got any questions, comment below. And if you are still here, thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate the time that you give me. I hope I don't waste it. If you found this of value, give the video a thumbs up, share it out to people you know. If you don't have your chart, comment below. What are you waiting for? Follow along with the videos and have a chart in your hand that matches the charts that I use. same color scheme and everything. Makes it easier. All right. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.